Welcome to Fino Concepts. Click the subscribe button and hit the bell icon so you don't miss out on any of our future videos. Alright, let's go ahead and open up our application. As always, I'm using Adobe Photoshop, and I'll go ahead and click on Create New. I'm going to set my width and height to 1920 by 1080. So for the width, I'll make it 1920, and the height, I'll make it 1080. And the resolution, I'll just leave it at 100 resolution or pixel per inch, and just click on OK. Now the key note here is to make your background the same as the text you are going to be using. So I'll go into this adjustment panel right here, and I'll click on solid color. Now I have it all black, that's cool, and I'll click on OK. So let's grab the type 2 T on your keyboard and let's type in something. Now I already have my rulers here. Control R to bring up your rulers. It's not really necessary, but I like keeping my work organized, so I just click and drag and drop it at the center over here. So we are going with 100 years, and because my font color is black, you can hardly see, so let's change it to a color like white. You know what, let's just use red because we are basically not going to be using this. So I'll select this and increase the font size by just clicking and dragging from this small t and capital T over here, and I can just place it at the center like so. So if I have any other text I want to add in, like years, I can also do that. I'll of course have to reduce the size of this. About this big should be just fine. I'll probably, let me just make it 72, and I'll just place it somewhere here. Now let me select this and go into window and make sure that character is checked. I just wanted to make sure that this was set to 0 and not -100, or it will cramp it up. Alright, so this is looking okay. I think we can work with this. And in case you want to add in like anniversary or something like that, you can also do that, but I think this is okay for me. So let's select these two and I'll place it at the center. Let's quickly get rid of this. Control R to remove that. Now I set this to a red color because I'm actually not going to be using this. I'd rather go with a black color, but I want you guys to see what I'm doing. So I'll go over here where I have these two layers, select both of them, hit Ctrl J to create a duplicate. Now I'll just select one of them and go into FX and click on color overlay, and I'll set the color, set the blend mode to normal first, make sure that the opacity is 100%, and I'll set the color to white and click on OK. You don't have to go through this long process. You can also just highlight it and just select a white color. They are all going to give you the same thing. I just like using color overlay, so sometimes I forget. Anyway, so what I'll do is I'll select both of these and bring them beneath my original text. So you know what, let's group this, select both of them, Ctrl G to group them up. Let's call this original. Select these two, group them up, let's call them replicate. Alright, not really necessary, but I like to keep my work organized. So if I zoom in a little bit and I grab the move to V on your keyboard, I'll just use the arrow keys whilst holding down shift so that I can move 5 or 10 frames. I'm not quite sure which it is. So I'll move down about about one click, and I'll move to the left to about 1. And this is okay for the 100, but if you take a closer look at the number of years, it's not really aligned perfectly. So I'll just adjust it like so, placing them right underneath each other. Yeah, I think this is looking cool. I think we can do more about these. You know what, we'll just move differently. So what I'll do is I'll select the 100 years copy, and I'll do a movement for it separately from what I have for the number of years. So I think this is looking much better. Now this is where the cool part is. We are actually going to create a selection around this 100 years. So hold down the Control key and click on this T. Now once you hold down the Control key, the cursor changes to this finger with a rectangle around it. So hold down the Control key, click on it, it's going to create a selection. Now because this is 100, we'll go into the replicate and select 100, and I'll click on add layer mask. So once I do that, you should see that this vanishes. Now this is cool. Make sure that the layer mask is selected, not the text or anything of that sort. Make sure that the layer mask is selected. Hold down Ctrl and press I. This is going to invert our selection. Now once I have done that, I'm going to do the exact same thing for this. So hold down Control, click to create a selection, come back to replicate, create a layer mask, Control I with the layer mask active, and basically that is it. Once I turn off the original, you should see something like this. So that's why I said the color doesn't actually matter. You can always go ahead and change it. Now if you want to keep the colors, you can also just, I'm going to add in the color overlay. You can make sure that the background color and the color of your text are also the same. So once they are the same, you are still going to get that same effect, but I prefer not even having them in the first place. So basically that is it. This is a very simple tutorial you can use for your anniversary and for your main text on your flyers and so on and so forth. Thank you guys for watching.